This gun was made in 2022 and this was made in 1942. And I put these to the test against other guns from a total of 10 different decades with the goal of getting a PMC with each before moving on to the next to find out how much better are guns today than they were decades ago. Starting with this, the Mosen Nagant, made in 1891. Alright, here we go, chat. Here we go. This is a 5-shot bolt-action rifle. It hits really hard and is usually seen with a sniper scope, but for this video, I'll only be using mods and attachments that existed in the decade the gun was invented. And the first scope for this gun wasn't made up until nearly 40 years later. So I ran this as it was in 1891 with its iron sights. And I initially thought this wouldn't be an issue. It's straightforward enough, just point then pull the trigger. Oh, it's a scav, dude. But it wasn't gonna be that easy after all. After 3 straight whiffs on an AI scav, this gun gave me some worry. To make things worse, I get my head sniped off from an enemy player seconds after. Oh! Here's the thing. I'm no stranger to the Mosen. I've used this countless of times in Tarkov, but usually with a sniper scope. And I didn't realize how much harder it is to use the Mosen without a scope. I thought that with my thousands of hours in Tarkov, and probably hundreds of those with the Mosen, I'd get a PMC with this in no time. But I was wrong. Oh shoot! I had a lot of trouble finding my range with this gun because I had to be close enough to my target where I have a clear picture of him through my iron sights, but also far enough where I won't get blasted by a full auto gun. Oh, I don't know where I'm getting shot from. It's him, chat. It was the player! It then became apparent that the only way I can win with this gun is a clean headshot. Because if I don't get a headshot, I'm getting peppered to my death while cycling my bolt-action rifle. No! Good fight, dude! GG! Without that one tap, it's virtually over. GG. So, I needed a new game plan. I found that whenever I tried really hard to find that sweet spot range for this Mosen, where I'm not too far nor too close kind of thing, I end up in bad situations, just getting outgunned and outplayed. Oh, he was a lot nearer than I thought I had time. I had to stop overthinking the game plan and just make things dirty. Meaning, I just gotta send it and grab whatever opportunity I'm given. Got a guy next to me. Although a loss, this was the best fight I've had so far, and at this point I've been trying for over 4 hours. So I had to keep the same energy moving forward to get another opportunity like this. F it, chat, I'm committing. Oh! This new game plan wasn't perfect, but it was giving me that light I needed at the end of the tunnel. I felt it. Death after death, I knew I was eventually going to get this headshot. At this point, we're 5 hours deep trying to get a kill with this Mosen. It was here where I also felt like my mechanical aim was finally coming together. I was feeling it in this raid. This is the one, I thought to myself. Dude, I thought that was a headshot, chat. Run the tapes. Was that a headshot? Chat, sparks! Oh no! Chat, we hit his head, dude. We hit it. Frustrated, heartbroken, devastated, you name it. I felt it all in this moment. This was our 15th attempt of the day. I felt like I played it perfectly. I got what I wanted, but ultimately, his helmet took the bullet. In this moment of heartbreak, it could go either of 2 ways. We fold, or we try again. Oh, I just saw someone go run over that hill. Let me get into Mosen distance here. GG chat. Oh, F you, dude. Chat, you were here. I'm opening up chat. Chat, you were here. You were here, chat. Whoever was here, you were here for this. I'm putting this on the video, maybe. This part where you guys are saying GG. You were here, chat. You were here. You're here, chat. You were here. Oh my god, dude. And this finally brings us 50 years later to the AVT-40 made in 1942. There are a couple of iconic handguns that came before this that are available in Tarkov, but for this video I wanted to focus on rifles and SMGs. And in the 40s, we got a huge upgrade from the Mosen, this AVT-40, which is pretty much a full auto Mosen, which is wild to think about. Considering how literally huge and deadly these bullets are, you put Mosen rounds into a full auto gun and you can virtually drop anything. Though the handling of this rifle isn't great. Swinging it around feels like the Mosen too, clunky and unresponsive, which gave me a lot of trouble lining up headshots as you saw earlier. The good news, because this is a full auto gun, it shouldn't be an issue. But the question is this better than the Mosen? Well, immediately it was put to the test in my first raid with it. Multiple? I think it sounds like a 3-man. They're inside. Flashlight right there. Sounds like a triple. He just closed the door in a second. Oh, we gotta kill the AVT, chat. Teammate tried to go for a cheeky flank via third. Ooh, GG. Despite the death, we got the PMC we needed in a single raid. Most of the credit going to its full auto capability, bringing us to the 1950s with the AKM made in 1959. This is the modernized version of the ever iconic AK-47, and it's reportedly lighter and more accurate in full auto than its prior version. Just like the AVT, we've got this in full auto. Although we're rocking a smaller caliber than the previous guns, this rifle should be easier to control, and plus we've got 30 round magazines versus the AVT's 15s and the Mosen's 5. The question is, how good is it? Jumping. Shortcut, I think. Yes, train bridge, chat. Train bridge. Two, at least. Is that 3? Running. Right there. We just dropped the guy. The huge upgrade in handling is one of the glaring things that stood out. It was much easier pointing and shooting this AKM, while the two previous rifles felt clunky, almost like turning a turret. There's also an obvious amount of confidence this gun gives me because of its well-roundedness. It feels like I could take on any target. The Mosen especially made me feel inferior to any opponent I came across. And that confidence was apparent in this next sequence as I make a huge flank to chase down my victim's teammates. I want to push in. We'll probably hug this side because... Yep, that's him. Oh, that's a Mosen. That's him. He's up. I think he's up top. There's two guys right there. Two guys in front of me. Dropped one. It's the flashbang. Alright, GG. A 3-man squad wipe carried by the AKM's ease of use, sending us straight to the 1960s with the MP5. It was in this era where I started to really feel how much better our guns were getting. This gun is our first laser beam in this series of firearms. Almost no recoil at all, making this one of the easiest kills of the video, which immediately sent us to the 70s with the STY Aug, or as most of us call it, the Aug. This rifle comes stock with a 1.5x scope, which I honestly thought wouldn't be useful, but it wasn't too bad, as you'll see in this engagement. Oh shoot! After getting blasted out of nowhere, I get the safety while he tries to grenade me out of my cover. I then decide to commit to a flank, hoping to get behind his last known position, and as I complete my flank, got him. The most surprising part of all this, the 1.5x scope actually worked. And this leads us to the 1980s with our first suppressed rifle in this video, the VSS. This is a sniper rifle that's integrally suppressed and chambered with subsonic rounds, meaning it's supposed to be one of the more quiet rifles in the game, but how quiet is it? You're about to find out, because I set myself up in one of the choke points of this map to wait for an unsuspecting target, and then this happens. He has no idea where it's from. He has no idea. Ever since moving on from the Mosen, I've gotten a PMC within my first raid with every other gun up to this point, emphasizing how much advancements we've made with firearms over time. Our guns are progressively getting easier to use, with much less noticeable recoil decade by decade and way easier handling, barely needing any mods to make these guns effective, just like our next one made in 1991, the M4A1. Now, I'm admittedly not much of a gun nut IRL and wasn't sure what to slap on this M4 for this video. All I knew was I wanted to run it near stock, so I googled what 90s M4s look like and saw a handful of builds that looked like this. An optic slapped on top of the carry handle, which looked both pretty wacky but super nostalgic, remembering movies like Black Hawk Down. But then after double checking as I edit this video, those were mostly model 727s, which is a variant of the M16. Technically not the M4. But here we are anyway, running this like I'm straight out of war movie set in the 90s. Unfortunately, unlike the movies, I don't survive my first run. I got run up on with my pants down. I ran it back immediately and wanted to take advantage of the range I have with my 4X optic. So I headed into the dormitory area of this map where a lot of action goes down. I set myself up across one of the hottest buildings in Tarkov for action and patiently waited for a chance on any target. Oh, that guy just got dropped. I think those are scavs. That was not a scav. That was a PMC counting to our kill to move on to the next gun. But before moving on, I spotted another target. Oh my god, I didn't see him, dude. I saw him at the last moment when he was leaving. That would have been fairly easy because he has to jump as he's... Oh god. Metal stairs, let's go. Okay, there's a scav there, so we... Oh, there it is. Fudge, he got away. I couldn't line up a headshot as much as I wanted to. As much as I tried to. I decided to chase this guy down, hoping for a little bonus kill before moving on from the M4. Oh. The fight's not over. Where is he? Dropped him. Again, the M4 showing the prowess of how much better our guns are getting in the modern era. It was really easy maneuvering this rifle, plus the recoil was very manageable. But if you thought these guns started to look easy, wait till you see what's in store in the 2000s as we move on to the 9mm Chris Vector. Earlier in this video, I briefly mentioned how a gun can affect my confidence in Tarkov. Like the Mosen, for example, sucked the confidence out of me and made me feel inferior to anyone I came across. But this gun did the total opposite. I felt like I could take on anything that came my way. Recoil virtually does not exist in this gun. It's an absolute laser beam, and it's one of the fastest shooting guns in the game at 950 rounds per minute. It's nearly a cheat code. So I took this confidence to the dormitory area again to take this building as my own with my 9mm Chris Vector. Oh! Then another Vector. He's in one of these rooms, I think. We're pinched.
What the hell is wrong with you?
After this second kill, I had a third party waiting for me to come down the stairs, so instead I went for a big flank, dropping down to the first floor, hoping to shake things up and catch him off guard. But unfortunately, he reads my flank and cuts me off. He's doing really well, holding the right angles, pushing me off of him, so I had to continue to move and keep him guessing.
Are you nuts? What the hell?
Finally, GG. It was a long fight. He played it really well. He was like cutting me off everywhere I wanted to go, dude. Good job. GG though. And now we're on to the 2010s with the Desert Tech MDR chambered in 308. Here, we have a rifle that hits as hard as the Mosen, but handles as well as the Vector. The only downside, it doesn't shoot as fast. The 2010s is the era where it starts to feel like rifles can do just about everything. Not only do we have a rifle that can do everything, but we also have an optic that can do everything too. This is an optic that can go from 1x to 6x, able to handle close range battles and long range snipes if needed. This rifle build is so well rounded, it almost puts Tarkov in easy mode. Just look how this engagement goes down. I'm sitting in this sniper's nest as I use my optic to scout the building across, which is about 120 meters away. Using my 6x scope, I spot movement, confirming there's a PMC running around in there. Then I start to get pushed by AI scavs in my own building, but it's not an issue since my rifle can deal with that easy. I then exit my building to make my way to the PMC I spotted. I get a clear sniper's angle on the building I was scouting earlier, and then let my rifle do the talking. There, we got him. GG, dude. And if you think this rifle made things look too easy, wait till you see this. The Sig Spear made in 2022. This is a little similar to the MDR we just ran, but on a little more steroids. It shoots faster, hits a little harder, and handles really well too. In my first raid with it, I casually walked into a kill. But this didn't show the true power of this rifle, so I wasn't satisfied. So I ran one more raid with it, hoping to run into someone who's heavily geared, ideally with the best armor. And like clockwork, I spot someone with exactly that. Someone just ran over the hill. Oh, he dropped. I barely had to aim, didn't have to line up for a headshot, and probably missed a quarter of my shots, but still dropped them. A gun like this can make Tarkov a literal point-and-click adventure. It's insane. To balance out the power of these modern rifles, they can get really expensive and are less available in Tarkov than something like the first gun of this video, the Mosen. And rightfully so, as you saw me struggle with it at the beginning, taking nearly 6 hours in real time to get a single kill with it. But to be fair, the Mosen is far from the worst gun in the game. And if you want to find out which is the worst, don't miss this video right here. Thank you to our patrons, Yang, Fluffy Hamster, Blossom, Smoddy, Lightning, Deathbringer, Timbrador, Kieran, and Daniel.